Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear, where I've been featuring my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. And today I'm up to song number 2690, and that one is Witchcraft by Frank Sinatra. As they called him, either chairman of the board or Old Blue Eyes. I think by then he was more known as Old Blue Eyes because he was already kind of getting up there in the years. But I think you guys are all familiar with Frank Sinatra, one of the greatest singers of all time, I think. And this song, Witchcraft, was featured on his compilation, 1961 compilation album called All the Way. I believe it went top 10, went to number 6 on Billboard. Was a Billboard hit, even though I don't think most people consider his music rock and roll. A lot of it was popular during the rock era, which is why I feature some of his songs. As a matter of fact, I think I have 9 of his songs altogether on my list. This is the second one. I already featured the theme from New York, New York a few months ago. Another excellent song by him. I was thinking about singing this one to karaoke, but very, very risky to try to sing Frank Sinatra to karaoke because he just had such an amazing voice. Here's a picture of him, by the way. Very recognizable picture. Everybody knows what he looked like. Um, and I guess, I already did a profile on Frank Sinatra. He had dozens and dozens of hit songs, most of them before rock and roll. I think his kind of heyday was in the 1940s. But he also had a lot of hits, 50s through all the way up to 1980. His last hit song was the theme from New York, New York in 1980. So very long history and very amazing voice all the way up to the end of his life, I think. But I guess I just want to talk a little bit about the song Witchcraft. Not a lot to say about it. I mean, he's in love with this woman and he's saying that his love for her is like witchcraft. It's like not controllable for him, almost like she cast a spell on him. And it's a nice idea. And he says, I guess she's supposed to be a good witch. He says there's no nicer witch than you. And maybe I don't know if this is true or not, but I think this song might have influenced. I mean, witches kind of became popular. I'd say in the late '50s. There was a very good movie called Bell, Book, and Candle that came out in 1959, featuring Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak. She was I guess, a good witch in that, and she uses her witchcraft to seduce Jimmy Stewart. Really good movie, in case you guys haven't seen it. And I'm pretty sure that that movie also influenced a very popular TV series, Bewitched, that was out for 8 years from 1964 to 1972. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with that show. It was very popular when I was a little kid. And I didn't like it as a kid because I was very bothered by all the special effects. I had no idea how they did them, and it just bothered me. The idea of the show also bothered me. It doesn't bother me anymore. Now I'm kind of entertained by things like magic and witchcraft, like most people are. I mean, like the whole Harry Potter series and all that. But anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about this song, Witchcraft. I guess I want to say one more thing, though. I don't know how many guys remember this scene in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Very popular movie. Came out in 1988. That's Bob Hoskins on the left. And this was towards the end of the movie. He was trying to fight off the bad guy. I can't remember his name, played by Christopher Lloyd. This horribly demented tune. I guess the idea was that the Toontown was inhabited by these cartoon characters known as Toons, and one of the Toons was this singing sword, and it's kind of a caricature of Frank Sinatra. And as soon as Bob Hoskins pulled out, he was trying to fight the bad guy. I wish I could remember his name, but he's trying to grab a sword. He grabs a singing sword, and it turns out to be useless in fighting the bad guy because all it does is sing Frank Sinatra. It sings a bar of witchcraft. So I thought that was very amusing. But I guess they got the timeline a little bit wrong in this movie. The story was supposed to take place in 1947, but the song "Witchcraft" didn't come out until 1957. But I'll forgive him for that. I mean, Frank Sinatra was popular, like I mentioned, in the 1940s. So it's a highly fictionalized story, anyway. But anyway, I guess that's all I have to say about the song "Witchcraft" by Frank Sinatra. Thank you for watching. You guys rock. I know it's not Halloween anymore, but since song's about a witch, I figured I'd finish with a little thank you of a witch flying on a broomstick. Anyway, thank you for watching. You guys rock, and I'll see you next time. Bye.